It is Friday the 13th. I just got back from, I had to, the Digibug story. This is the old Digibug, Dad's Digibug, not the daughter's Digibug. And this is, anyway, ordered a lug nut, got the lug nut in, update, so I'm driving safe now. I'm not short one lug nut. Just got that done, had the torque test, made sure everything was good on the tires. Anyway, Friday the 13th, what's the significance? Why is everybody so worried about Friday the 13th? What's the superstition? I mean, supposedly it goes back to, it goes back to Babylonia and Samaria. There's the Hammurabi's code. I think he left out a 13 or something, one of the precepts, something like that. And then I think it was the Sumerians thought the number 12 was the perfect number, and anything beyond that, base 12 kind of thing. So 13's unlucky. We got a dozen eggs, 12 eggs, not 13. I don't know. But the Knights Templar, if you've heard of them, that was this is the thinking behind it. I think it was 1307. On Friday the 13th, a lot of them were rounded up, the Knights Templar. And the Knights Templar, what they did in the Crusades, in the 1100s and 1200s, the Templars were these fighting Christian knights that went off and fought crusades in the Middle East in the name of Jesus or the Catholic Church, or some rich and powerful kings and royalty in Europe. They went off to fight, and they got a lot of money because they're mercenaries in a sense, so they got a lot of money. They accumulated a lot of wealth because when you're out fighting wars, the spoils of war, you get a lot of stuff. So they're off fighting. This group became very wealthy. They established what was kind of a network of banks along the way, on the routes, on the crusade routes, and got very wealthy. So this group was very powerful. You ought to look up Scott, I think his name's Wolter, W-O-L-T-E-R, I think he's out of Minnesota, I believe. And he had this series, on one of the programs, cable channels, America Unearthed. Pretty cool show. Shows a lot of artifacts. He's kind of an archaeologist, and he goes and looks at some of these things and proves that, wait a minute, we had people mining copper up in Michigan in 200 AD, things like that. And it's like, where'd these people come from? Then you find all these Chinese artifacts on the West Coast, and, how long ago was that? Way before Columbus. So, this continent, if you watch that, and there's a lot of other evidence, but this continent, this America, has been, people have been here for a long time. Columbus had maps and kind of knew where he was going, and, there's a lot of speculation that, these maps, the maps existed, of the New World. So somebody was here before is what it comes down to. People came over here, a lot of, in southern Illinois, that's called Little Egypt. There's a lot of towns down there named after places in Egypt. The southernmost town in Illinois is called Cairo, but it's spelled like Cairo, Egypt. So, and that's Little Egypt, that southern portion of Illinois. So you've got a lot of parallels. If some people have said they found artifacts from Egyptian artifacts in caves in southern Illinois. There's a lot of things that are here, and yeah, check it out in that America Unearthed. It's pretty cool. That there are, Stonehenge, it's on certain parallels and lines up with certain ley lines. There are places in America that this guy has found that kind of line up with that. And, when you date how old it is and you think, what's the purpose? Who did it? When were they here? The official narrative falls apart. So anyway, back to the Knights Templar. That's kind of where I was going with Friday the 13th. They were rounded up on Friday the 13th, 1307, I believe, because I think it was King Philip IV. I think is who it was. I think he was, I don't know if he was Spain or France. The king. But anyway, he didn't like him. He liked to steal people's lands. He wanted the money. And so he kind of, made up all these allegations, that they're engaged in all this, awful conduct of these Templars, and they got rounded up, and, the Pope really didn't want to go along with it, but, given the charges, he kind of got railroaded into, kind of letting the Templars get taken in. And so a lot of them were tortured and executed and forced to confess. But, the date Friday the 13th, that's when a lot of them were supposedly brought in and wrangled in. and brought to justice. So there's some bad vibes with Friday the 13th. That might be one of the origins. So that's Friday the 13th. I don't even know where I was going with any of this. It's just kind of a Friday ramble fest. Cryptocurrency, I always got to talk about that because, when you're talking about centralized powers, apprehending you and running you in the banking system, like the Templars, who holds the wealth is really what it comes down to. And if you hold the wealth, you kind of have power, and other people want that power. So in the modern day, who holds the wealth? The banking system, because they can create the money. The Federal Reserve and the banking system, they have the ability to create money out of thin air. And really the banks, are more of a culprit for the inflation, because if you put $1,000 on deposit in a bank, they can loan out, I think, the last I looked, it was $9,000 based on that 1,000 you have in there. So they, 9 times what you have, they can create out of thin air. And they'll go give a loan to a guy for a house and say, oh, here you go. And they make that money up because they have little reserves, that allow them to loan out 9 times what they have. And it creates that money out of nothing. And so it's just debt-based money. Well, when that's created, let's say somebody gets a $90,000 loan. They're like, oh, okay, I got $1,000 on deposit or $10,000 on deposit. Here's $90,000 to somebody. So that person, they got to pay it back. But they pay it back with interest. And it's front-loaded interest. So when you look at your mortgage, if you get a 30-year mortgage and you look at that mortgage, amortization, chart, you're going to notice that your first payments are like all interest. I mean, you're paying way more interest than you are knocking down the actual principal of the loan. And it's like, wait a minute, why isn't that spread out over 30 years? Well, you might pay it off early and then we won't get all our interest over the 30 years. So, some silly law, because they're all crooks, they pass a law that says, yeah, well, you can front load the interest in the loan. So for the first 10 years, you're making very, very little progress on your home loan. The banks make a bunch of interest. Well, where's that interest come from? Because if you've got a pool of money out there, okay, now I'm safe, I'm not driving anymore. You've got a pool of money out there, and you've got, you take out a $90,000 loan and you got to pay back like $90,000 in interest. Well, where's that interest come from? It's got to get created from somewhere, because otherwise, you'd suck up all the money that's in circulation, because, if there's a finite supply of money, it's going to just eat it up. Well, we've got to create more and more. And so that's what, long story short, that's what gets us into the situation we're in now. You don't have enough money in circulation to be servicing the debt that's been created and the interest on the debt. Dog wants to go out. We'll let her out. I gotta go potty. Been in the car for a while. But so you've got to keep creating. It's like a Ponzi scheme. You got to keep creating more and more and more and have more new blood coming into it. And then at certain points, it just, you hit a wall. You can't service the debt. And so you have a 2008 event. And now you have what's happening now. I mean, so we go through these cycles because it's just an unsound money system. It's unstable, and it requires more and more, liquidity to keep going. So how do you fix that? And that's why I like cryptocurrency, because you've got a finite supply of money. It's a pool. And people say, well, how are we going to pay for new things as they come along? We need more money to purchase, this new invention or these new things that came along, microwaves. How do we do that? We need more money in the system to do it. No, because it's the opposite. If you've got a fixed supply of money, then as new products come in, the cost of those products gets driven down because there's only so much money in the pool. So it's going to take less of that money to buy those things. So it's deflationary, which is a good thing because your purchasing power goes up. And that's what Bitcoin is. That's what Litecoin Digibyte are. You've got a fixed supply of money. And if you do the math, let's take Litecoin because, Litecoin guy, pay with Litecoin. You've got 84 million Litecoin. And supposedly we have 350 million people in the United States. So that's like, I think, you do the math on that, it's like 0.2 or I think it's 0.2, something like that. 0.2 Litecoin for each person in the United States. 0.2, a fifth of a Litecoin for each person in the United States. So that's a fixed supply. And, so if more goods come into the market, you've got less money to be able to put towards those goods. So, you know, that TV that used to cost, you know, 0.1 Litecoin now is going to be 0.05 Litecoin, because, you know, you've got a certain amount of money that's in all these other goods. So that money is valuable. And so you don't want to peel it off and give it away. So that's a way that we can take control of the monetary system, is to have a finite money supply. And it used to be backed by gold, you know, and there's only so much gold to go around. Yeah, there's more coming out of the ground, but, you know, there's a steady rate of gold coming out. And so it kind of locks down that money supply. And that's the argument that, well, you're not going to have enough gold. We're not going to have enough money to go around to buy things. And, you know, not everybody has gold, but everybody can get involved in crypto, and there are different ways to do that. And I guess that's my point. You know, I want people to buy crypto. I want people to get into it now, before it moons, before it goes to the moon. You know, it's the thing you hear. It's going to moon, you know, it's going to the moon. Get into it now. And, you know, I talk to people and they get it, but they don't know how to get into it. You almost have to hold their hand and say, okay, this is what you do, this is what you do. And a lot of times it's something new. They're, I don't know. Easiest way to get into it, CashApp. Download the CashApp. You can link it to your bank account. You can get a credit card. I mean, you can send, you know, money between people, and with your CashApp handle, your tag, and you can buy Bitcoin on it. You can buy Bitcoin directly on it. And then not just hold it on there, but once you get acclimated to, okay, I can buy Bitcoin. I can buy $10 worth of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's $16,000 for one Bitcoin. There's only 21 million of them. You don't have to buy one Bitcoin. You can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, and it goes all the way down to one Satoshi, which is 8 digits to the right of the decimal point. So you can get 0.00000001, if I did that right, Satoshi. I mean, so you can buy $5 worth of Bitcoin on Cash App. And you get in the habit of, you know, maybe getting some of that, but then you can transfer it off. You can transfer it off onto your own wallet, because Cash App's holding it. You don't want them to hold it. You don't want anybody to hold it. You know, it's a good way to get it, you know, like Coinbase is another way. It's a good way to get it, but don't let them hold it, because they're just like a bank. They could go under and they could go bankrupt, and then you lose it. It's gone. Good luck getting it back. But the nice thing is you can transfer it out. You can transfer it to your own Bitcoin address that you hold on your phone, and you download an app. You know, you just download an app. Exodus Wallet's a good one. Coinomi Wallet's a good one. Edge Wallet's a good one. There's a couple of Monarch Wallet's a good one. There are good wallets that you can download. Atomic Wallet, I like that one. You can download those wallets, and you write down your seed phrase, 12 words, you save that, and you can always reestablish that. That's the master, you know, key to recreate those wallets if you ever lose your phone. But at that point, if you bought something off Cash App, you can go ahead, transfer it to your Bitcoin wallet on your phone, whichever one it is, and then you own it. You have it. You can do what you want with it. There's nobody else that can tell you what to do. You can go to Fold, the Fold app. Download the Fold app. If you're buying if you're shopping anywhere like Amazon, for instance, I buy stuff off Amazon, you can buy an Amazon gift card, and I think you can get up to 4% back. So you buy a $100 gift card on the Fold app, you can get up to 4% back, which is you know, $4. All right, but that $4 goes into Bitcoin. So you earn that 4% in Bitcoin. You're not paying any more than you already were. You're paying $100 to Amazon, but you're getting 4% of it back in Bitcoin. LOLLI is the same way. And the dog wants me to go. LOLLI, L-O-L-L-I, is the same way. Go to lolli.com. I mean, I've got referral links on this stuff. If you go to my website, clintwestwood.net, and I've got referral links, and I mean, you get bonuses when you sign up with it. I mean, go check that out and sign up with these things. I mean, I've got all this stuff on my website. I keep forgetting to say that, but it's sitting there. And you can, with Fold app, buy those gift cards, get Bitcoin, and you can transfer that off into your own wallet. But you're getting Bitcoin without buying anything that you're not already buying. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. Instead of getting points back on your credit card, you know, you take this debit card and you load it up and you go buy stuff, and then you get Bitcoin back. And you see what Bitcoin does. A finite supply with more people coming into the market, it's just going to continue to go up. And that's just what cryptocurrencies are going to do. So it's just some easy ways to get into it. I mean, you can go to a CoinFlipATM and use the code that I've got down here. I mean, and get 10% off the transaction fees. Look at the description. I'll put it in there. But you just go, you look up, you go to a gas station or wherever, a liquor store, or wherever they have a CoinFlipATM, you can put 20 bucks in. I think you put 10 bucks in. You can buy Bitcoin, you can buy Litecoin, Ethereum, Link. You know, there's other ones out there on the CoinFlipATM that you can buy these cryptocurrencies. You just put cash in, and if it's $900 or less, you don't have to sign up for an account. You just need your phone, and they'll text you a code while you're there, just a text message, and that's all you need. You put your money in, and boom, you scan your phone, you got your wallet, and you walk away. And so those are just easy ways to kind of get into cryptocurrency without thinking, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. Go take a look at those things, because again, like I said, you know, this is we've got to get into this. The world is changing. Everything is going digital. And if you do not have stake in the digital world, if you're not prepared for it, they're going to usher you right in, and you're going to take whatever you get. You'll get that coin that's created by the US government. What value is that going to have? Who knows? We know that Bitcoin, Litecoin, Digibyte, they have fixed supplies. They've been around for years. They work. There's no shutting them down. There's no government or bank involved. I mean, it's we the people. It's our money. So we can do what we want with it. And so those digital coins that are going to be created by all these companies and these governments, what do you think people are going to do when they get them? They're going to swap them into the coins that have been around for a long time that are holding value. There's a reason why Bitcoin's $16,000 right now. People are going to want to chase that, and they're going to be swapping for that. So get ahead of that herd. Do yourself a favor. Do your family a favor. Do your future self a favor. And just get into it and start acclimating yourself, get educated about it and understand it, and just acquire some. I mean, don't go crazy, but just get some and learn how the system works, and then you can start getting it for free. I mean, and that's the great thing. You know, you go to these apps and you can get them for free for just buying stuff you're already buying. Very important. Again, check out those links. I've got referral links, and, you know, you can get Satoshi's back just for signing up. Right now, the Fold app, I forgot. Right now, the Fold app, you sign up. Use the referral link. I'll put it below. Use that referral link, and I think it's November 27th, they're going to give away one whole Bitcoin to somebody that signs up. One Bitcoin. Who knows what it's going to be worth by then in a couple of weeks? It could be $20,000. Right now, it's $16,000 you would get just for signing up. It's just crazy. There's opportunities out there, so dog's getting upset. But I hope you have a great day. Friday the 13th, you know, it's up to us what we make of it, you know. Past is the past. You know, make it a great day. So thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you all, and now it's time to tend to the dog. Thanks.